दृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीधनम् बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततन्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै Verse 44 भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तयापहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते. So Bhogaishwarya Asaktanam can be also said, but here said Prasaktanam. So the people, for those who pursue the pleasure and power exclusively, they are called Prasaktas. So they pursue the pleasure and power exclusively. Taya means by those words. The people who have spoken to them in that flowery language, and very, very enticing words were there. So, by those words, apahrita chetasam, apaharanam we know, kidnapped. So, apahrita chetasam means whose minds are roped away, whose minds are kidnapped. For those people, Vyavasayatmika buddhi, this well-ascertained understanding, buddhi, well-ascertained understanding, samadhavana vidhiyate, will in their mind will not take place. Means for those who pursue pleasure and power exclusively and whose minds are kidnapped by these flowery words spoken by that Vedavadarata, we have talked about them, well-ascertained understanding, clarity, etc. regarding means and ends will not take place, does not take place in their mind. Na vidhiyate means does not take place. Samadho means in the mind. So, this is what has been, Bhagavan is telling here. Bhoga. Bhoga means basically through the senses, whatever objects we experience, they are all basically called bhoga. Bhoga means Sukha Dukha Sakshatkara Bhoga, which will generate. If, I mean, through senses we just objectify, it is not called Bhoga. But it definitely generates in us some kind of a pleasure or sometime unhappiness. So we call Sukha Dukha Sakshatkara. Those objects are called Bhoga. And so Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktanam, one who is exclusively in the pursuit of this kind of gaining these objects, well, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi doesn't take place. Vyavasaya means, V plus Avasaya. It's called Vyavasaya. And we have, I mean, we have we have translated it as a clarity.
Yeah.
Avasaya means basically, so Avasaya means so clarity. Clarity means regarding means and ends. Now they have come to the conclusion. There is an end to that. The end to that means this is means, this is end. That's what it is called Vyavasaya. Avyavasaya means there is no end. Avasaya has a meaning of, we know this word, Avasanam we know, Avasanam. Avasanam means an end. In Gujarati, in fact, there is word also, Avasanam. They, for death they use. And that is end. So basically, Vyavasaya means it has ended very well. What? Clarity regarding means and end has ended. There is no more a confusion regarding means and end. So that's how we translate as a clarity. So this is so Avyavasayatmika Buddhi means there is no well ascertained understanding regarding this. Then if you don't understand that, well, you will have many means and many ends. And they always say regarding the pleasures, Yat Pruthivyam Vrihi Yavam Hiranyam Pashavas Na alam ekasya tat sarvam iti matva shamam vrajet. Beautifully says. Yat pruthivyam vrihi yavam. Pruthivyam. Even in the whatever the grains etc. is there in the entire earth, on the entire earth, well, that is na alam ekasya. Ekasya na alam. Even it is not sufficient for one. And then Hiranyam Pashavas, then other things are also included in that Hiranyam. So even we feel that, oh, Swami, so much of gold is there and everyone can have enough of the gold. But for one person also, the amount of gold, whatever is there on this earth, is not sufficient. Nalam ekasyam tat sarvam iti matva shamam vrajet. I mean, give up this kind of if you have an end for this kind of pleasures, give it up, because even for one person it is not sufficient, because there is no end. It wants to convey there is no end so far as these pleasures are concerned. And then other is Aishwarya. Bhagavan is telling regarding two things. Those who are pursuing exclusively this Bhoga and Aishwarya, pleasures and this overlordship, that is for such, I mean, those are the people have been talked here. So Aishwarya means, Ishwar Bhava. Ishwar Bhava means basically ownership. Ownership. And there are several meanings of Aishwarya. I am talking right now regarding, there are 2-3 meanings. So, Ishwar Bhava is everyone wants some kind of a ownership. Everyone has in their heart. We don't want to have that desire of ownership of the entire country or something. But we definitely have this kind of a desire to have an ownership of at least few things. So that is called Ishwar Bhava. And if one wants through karma, definitely one cannot get the Ishwar Bhava in as much as, because whatever you gain Ishwar Bhava, then you will not be satisfied. Even you become a owner of few things, still your desire to have a more ownership will not go. So the karmas cannot will be able to give you this a ownership, and that is called Ishwar Bhava. People call even that we want to remain as a dasa of etc. of a Parmeshwara, but definitely we definitely desire, we want to be like Parmeshwara. Parmeshwara is definitely a owner of everything. But person also through karma wants to have a ownership of few things. He says that few things, but that few things, that criteria keeps enlarging. Even we have seen that even the person who has no ownership of a flat, etc. He says, even if I get a one bedroom flat, I will be very happy. And after he gets a one bedroom flat, he will search for a little larger. Now our family will become bigger, and then what we will do? Let's search, we'll in the outskirts of the countryside. Let's go to, so it will be cheaper, but let's have a little larger flat. And after that, we'll find something else. Then we find something else. The ownership, that sense of ownership, we have. And through karma, you can never achieve. That's how avyavasayatmika. So there will never be end. Then can I become a Parmeshwara through any other means? Yeah. You can become a owner of everything. In fact, you are owner. You know that. That's all. You are owner of everything. Swamiji, don't say like that. You nowadays something has happened to you. It's not. It is in Shiv Purana, it has been told like that. And that has been quoted in Panchadashi by Vidyaranya. You are owner of everything. Without you, there is nothing. If you are Brahman, and that you are the essence of everything. And because of you only, things have a sara. That's how raso vaisaha. This Paramatma or this Brahman is called rasaha. Because you are the essence of everything. And therefore, basically, you are owner. Because of you, it is existent. Because of you, it shines. Because of you, there is a priyatvam. So, Atma is there. That is how there is a priyatvam. So, anyway, point is, you are owner. So, through knowledge, you can really come to and come to an end of getting ownership. But otherwise, through karma, we will not. That's how avyavasayatmika buddhi. If one enters into the Veda, getting enticed by the people who talk a glory, pushpitam vacham, who talk a lot a glory about this karma kanda, and you also get enticed and come here and do several karmas and gain certain ownership, but you will not have you will not be satisfied with that. And that's how avyavasayatmika. There is no end to that. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam vyavasayatmika buddhi na vidhiyate. They do not have this vyavasayatmika buddhi. Only by knowledge. Because that's an innate desire. You cannot criticize somebody that somebody he wants to be owner of something. Well, it will remain. He wants to encompass himself. He wants to take into fold everything. And that's your nature in fact. Atma definitely covers everything. That's how Atma is called Brahman. And therefore that desire is very, very genuine desire. But person who doesn't have a clarity regarding this means and end and get enticed, it has been told apaharita chetasam, taya. Taya means by vachaya. Through this vacha of this flowery language of those people, vedavadarataha, apaharita chetasam, whose mind has been kidnapped or roped away because of the enticing words, etc. Well, then definitely you also follow so many, you employ so many means and try to get an end of Aishwaryam. Anyway, then there is another meaning of Aishwaryam also. More than Ishwar Bhava, ownership is one thing. The second meaning is samarthyam. You at least desire that few people will obey your rule. Few people will take you very seriously. At least few people. So at least in home, people will take my words seriously. That's called adhikara. Aishwarya means adhikara. First, Aishwarya means ownership. Second meaning of Aishwarya is samarthyam or adhikara. So, in Gujarati, they always say maru chale. So they talk like this. So, people hear to me. People look up to me. That is called Aishwarya. And so, just becoming a owner, I will not be satisfied. People definitely should hear you. People will look up to you. That's also you want. Your words should not be rejected. They will follow you, etc., etc. This is all Aishwarya. This kind of Aishwarya also, people are, all the time behind it. And, but we don't want to go. That's also Through karma, people want to have this kind of a status. So, let's call status. And so people want to gain a different status so that people will look up to you. And the third meaning of Aishwaryam, of course, is our Animadi Siddhis, achievements. Anima, Garima, Lakima, etc. All this Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva. The Ashtasiddhis talked about in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, that is also called Aishwaryam. We may feel that we are not interested in that, but we definitely like, if we can become like this, if we can become small and we can become so big and everything. Well, anyway, that's okay. But this also is called Aishwaryam. And we achieve that kind of Aishwaryam nowadays. Yeah. Ishitva, Vashitva, etc. And so I could see something at 1,000 kilometers away, I could be able to see. Well, that kind of a siddhi. That is a yoga. Yoga can give you this kind of siddhi. And we have achieved. Those days, people who have achieved through mantras, we have achieved through yantras today. Through different instruments. Like right now, all of you are, I don't know from where you are joining me. I don't know. But right now, I am able to see you, I am able to talk to you, and just in front in my room. It's not an ordinary achievement. So, those days they used to achieve through mantras, etc., this kind of siddhis. And we are achieving through now, a match which is going on in London Stadium, cricket match. The person in India at the same time, at that moment itself, he is able to see live. It's not an ordinary thing. And so this is also a very big siddhi. Anyway, so point is ultimately, but whatever Aishwarya we have, whatever kind of Aishwarya we have, it's very, very limited. And you will not be satisfied. Because anything limited, you cannot settle. That's for sure. You have known your height as limitless height. And therefore you will not settle for anything limited. It may be a bhoga, it may be Aishwarya, any kind of thing. Either it may be ownership, either people will look up to you. When 10 people will look up to you, then you will find 20 people should look up to you. And then you will want to become a politician so people can look up to you. It doesn't end at all. And so there are many, many ends. If you keep Aishwarya as a goal in your life, then definitely you will have endless goals. Endless means, definitely. And same way, bhoga also, pleasures also. We need not talk because we know now for sure. And Acharya, Bhashyakara says in Dakshinamurti Stotram, Siddhyetat punarashtadha parinatam cha Aishwaryam avyahatam. Only Parmeshwara is one who has a Aishwarya which is avyahatam. Avyahatam which does not come to an end. And that's how Aishwaryasya samagrasya dharmasya yashashashriya Jnana Vairagya Yoshaiva Shandam Bhaga Itirinam. Aishwaryasya samagrasya. Ishvara is one, Parmeshwara is one. Well, definitely he has a Aishwarya, overlordship, definitely in full measure. So Avyahatam, in Dakshinamurti Stotram it has been told Avyahatam, which does not decay, which does not come to an end, Avyahatam also means which doesn't have any boundaries. That kind of Aishwarya Parmeshwara has. Well, whatever Aishwarya we have, and through karmas, we definitely get some Aishwarya, but we are not satisfied, and we never get a limitless Aishwarya also. And so your desire of getting more and more Aishwarya, more and more bhogas continue, and that becomes an end. And then, several ends are there, several means are there. So, vyavasayatmika buddhihi na vidhyate. Such people who are definitely, whose mind have been carried away by the words, flowery words of the people who are themselves engrossed in karma and karma phala. And definitely they will not have a clear understanding regarding means and ends. And therefore, such buddhi, vyavasayatmika buddhi, does not take place in their mind. Now here only one thing is to be noted is, Bhagavan has used word samadhi, samadhau na vidhyate. So it is nothing to worry about this, because the meaning of samadhi is not of Ashtanga Yoga samadhi, because vyavasayatmika buddhi has been told here. So Vyavasayatmika buddhi means clarity regarding means and end. Where the clarity will be there? In heart, in kidney, or in the mind? In the mind. And therefore Vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau, saptami. So this kind of a clarity regarding means and end will not take place in the mind. Samadhi means mind. That's how Bhashyakara explained this word samadhi in the bhashyam of this verse. Bhashyakara says samadhiyate asmin, because ultimately everything world reaches to the mind. Like in Ashtanga Yoga, a whole practice of Ashtanga Yoga ultimately culminates into what? Samadhi. Same way, everything in the world reaches to the mind alone. Ultimately, everything. So the sense objects, the experiences, the entire world that is in front of you, are experienced by you, and so eyes may be open and seeing it, but what they see has to reach to the mind, of course, before any seeing actually takes place. And therefore, samadho means in the mind, antakarane, buddhau, you can translate that way. And what is it that does not take place in the minds of such people? Well, that is eka buddhihi, vyavasayatmika buddhihi, asmin samadho na vidhiyate. So instead the buddhi is like, they say this Godavari river, these people's buddhis is like what? They say this Godavari river, before it reaches to the ocean, it has several islands, they call like that. Several islands. I mean, it becomes like several streams. It divides into several streams. Instead, remaining between the two banks is as though divides into several streams, and many islands it forms, and then it meets the ocean. So such people's buddhi is like this Godavari river. Before meeting to the ocean, it divides into several things. So several means several, and confusion. Basically, it is confusion. Like, and they give an example. And what kind of a confusion these people have? They say that like a child who is very active, and he has been taken to a shop of toys, and then you see him, and you tell that you have to choose only one. I will buy for you only one toy, and you see the confusion. He will pick up one and then put it. He picks up another one, then picks up, and he in hand 5 or 6 are there. Now he wants to take all, and that also is not sufficient. Then something else is there, and he wants to pick up. Then this falls off. I mean, that is how the situation is. And even we have also seen, sometimes in a catalog, we want to buy a particular thing, and so we see in the catalog that let's see in the catalog where is it, and then you find in the catalog there on every page there is some item which you want to buy. So so you want to buy one thing, and that's your end. And when you see the catalog, you find that several things you want to buy. This is confusion. That is called avyavasayatmika. That's how it has been defined. Anyway, so one needs something from every page. So this is how it is. Because world consists of many alluring things for such people, and so one discovers through the Shastra that even unknown world also contains many more equally important, very equally alluring for a person. And that unknown things like Swarga, etc., of course. And one who has Shraddha, so not only known things, even unknown things also are there. And therefore mind is robed away for those who are committed to this Bhoga and Aishwarya, overlordship. Aishwarya I am translating as Aishwarya because there are 3 meanings. So either way, whatever you like. Aishwarya means some kind of an achievement. Aishwarya means some kind of an overlordship. I mean, people will look up to you. Or Aishwarya means, say, ownership. Either way, whatever meaning you like. In fact, all the 3 types of desires we have. So Aishwarya also is endless. And so Bhoga and Aishwarya, and the discriminative awareness is as though a clouded. They don't have that discrimination regarding Purushartha. Now let's go to the verse 45. Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasthaha Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Vedaha, the Vedas, Traigunya Vishayaha have their subject matter related to three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Gunatmika. So they have a subject matter. They describe the objects which belong to these three gunas. Hey Arjuna, Nistraigunyaha, well, one who becomes free from the hold of these threefold gunas. Nirdvandvaha, one who is free from the sorrow of the pairs of opposite. Nitya Sattvasthaha, one ever established in Sattva Guna. Niryoga Kshemaha, one who is free from the anxieties of yoga and kshema, of acquiring and protecting. Atmavan, one who is a master of oneself. Bhava, may be Atman. So the subject matter of the Veda is always related to three variable qualities. We know. Now because the discussion is going on right now in the Tattva Bodha, whatever whole creation has come out of these three gunas, and nothing but all three gunas are there. And this becomes end as a karma phala. And how to acquire that, the means also are described by Veda. So the subject matter of the Veda as such is related to these three variable qualities. Here Arjuna, be one who is free from the hold of these threefold qualities. And you be the one from the, we become free from the pairs of opposite, the sorrow of the pairs of opposites, or be one who is ever established in Sattva Guna, one who is free from the anxieties of acquiring and protecting, who is master of oneself. You be like that. You be like this. That's what Bhagavan is telling. How can he become like that? That's what we are seeing now. Basically now, you see, this is the verse creates a doubt regarding Ishvara. There is Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha, and you become Nistraigunya. So as though the Veda all talks about this, the objects. The subject matter of the Veda is basically this belong to three gunas only, and you should be above all this. Means basically you should be above this Vedas. It seems like that. So then it is, like one way it's a criticism of the Veda. So actually that looks like that, but it is not so. Shankaracharya ji, prefaces this commentary to this verse by saying that, well, for the people who are committed to this enjoyments and power, that Bhogeshwara Prasaktanam, who do not have this Viveka Buddhi, who possesses it Avyavasayatmika Buddhi, for them the subject matter of the Veda is Traigunya Vishaya. For them. So this is not a full definition of the Veda, because Veda contains something more, much more than that, and that is Vedanta also is there. But so what is meant here is that for those who are committed to this Bhoga and Aishwarya, the scriptures will be, the Vedas will be Traigunya Vishayaha only. Because you look into the scriptures only for what you want to see. Like when I go to a shop with a certain desire, in shop, or let's say hardware shop. A hardware shop is there, but I want to buy a particular thing. So even in a hardware shop, there are thousands of things which are really very, very important. But I want to see only what I will try to see what I want in my as a necessity, and therefore, so it's like that is what it wants to say. So you look only for what you want in a shop. Same way, there are a number of topics in the scriptures, but you look only for what you want. And so the people who are Bhoga, Ishvara, Prasaktana, who are really interested only in who have exclusively a end of a Bhoga and Aishwarya, pleasure and Aishwarya, well, they will look into the Veda, only those portions where they can fulfill this, look for those means by which they can fulfill this Bhoga and Aishwarya. So that is what it wants to convey. Not that the Veda is basically containing only this kind of a thing. So Veda provides with a legitimate means, of course, for achieving these various ends. Now here we will have to discuss what is this Traigunya Vishayaha. Actually this Traigunya means an entire samsara, And Bhagavan himself tells in the 18th chapter, in 50th verse regarding this. न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः. So on this earth or even this Devaloka, there is no such substance which is devoid of three gunas. This statement is very, very big statement. Anything in the creation which is existing right now is having these three gunas. Now, actually, we have seen today morning that everything in this gross creation is made up of only tamas aspect of the Maya, right? Only tamas aspect. Bhagavan says everything in this creation, what the gross creation, in fact, let's say gross creation right now. This gross creation, whatever you are seeing here and in the other parts of the world, universe, like a heaven, of course, when talk about Veda, there's a heaven and other things, other lokas. All existent things are made up of three gunas. So that is something really very amazing. What we have learned in the morning and what we are seeing right now looks different, but there is some more meaning in this. So first thing is, who makes this creation? We will discuss this point a little elaborately. Who makes this creation? So immediately, Swamiji, you only taught us the Ishvara makes the creation. Brahman plus Maya manifest in the form. But why? Why this kind of a creation? Why this? Right? Why this kind of creation is there? And the creation serves a purpose of whom? Creation serves a purpose of a Ishvara, or creation serves a purpose of Jiva? Jiva. Then who must have ordered? Jiva must have ordered. Like your home is there, made by architect, contractor, etc. But who has ordered? Because that your house is of a particular type. Then that Ishvara has no requirement of making that kind of thing. Ishvara has no requirement at all. You have asked for such a kind of a house, and then Ishvara made it. So basically, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, this creation, actually the father of the creation is not Ishvara. The cause of the creation is Jiva. Medhaya tapasa ajanayat pita. This Jiva is called Pita, cause. And then how, from which earning he ordered this? If you want to make a house and you order to an architect and a contractor to make, so you must have earning from which you will spend and he will make. Yeah. So he says Medhaya tapasa. Let the Ishvara create, but basically the Jiva's own karma. Tapasa means karma. Medha means upasana. Our own karmas and upasana are the earning, and through that Ishvara has made this creation. And so basically we are also a cause of the creation. And so that's how I always call it as a joint venture between Ishvara and Jiva. The creation is a joint venture, a partnership firm between Ishvara and Jiva. And the kind of a karma and upasana means, understand upasana. So nobody has done upasana. Then why we are calling upasana means basically all the bhavanas which are there in your mind. That is vasanas. That is the cause of the creation. Don't think upasana. Vasana, upasana also is creating that kind of a vasana in which there is, you have a bhavana of a upasya devata. But here I am talking in general. The karmas and vasanas become the material cause of this creation, basically. So, that is what in Maya is. This is all unmanifest. All jivas are unmanifest, means his karmas and his own, all the vasanas are unmanifest. That manifest along with that. Anyway, so this, whatever impressions we have in our mind and all the karmas, the jivas means, the entire creation is meant for them and they are made like that. And that is how each object is made. Every object is made for the jivas. And as per his karma and his own bhavana, the object will definitely either becomes a cause of a generating a particular bhava in a mind. That may be out of sattva guna, out of rajoguna, out of tamoguna. I will give you an example. There is a one, this example has been given by Vachaspati Mishra. You must be knowing Vachaspati Mishra was basically, he wrote a sub-commentary on Brahma Sutra called Bhamati. Very, very, very brilliant Acharya, great Acharya, Vachaspati Mishra. He is giving this example. He says, consider there is a one woman, and she is a woman, and for her husband, because this woman is beautiful and she is having a good qualities also. So whenever her husband comes in contact with him, definitely he gets a pleasure, because he thought of before marriage that I should have this kind of a wife, and she is like that. So whenever he thinks about her, or whenever he talks to her, so whenever he is in contact with her, definitely it gives him a satisfaction, pleasure. So this is one woman. The second person is a neighbor. There also one family is staying, and the husband of that particular person, wife, that husband, whenever he sees her, he gets jealous. He gets jealous of this person, So because that he has got a very, 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 very good wife and good looking, etc., etc. So now the same woman becomes a cause of a jealousy. For her husband, she becomes a cause of a pleasure, satisfaction, joy. For other person, she has become the cause of a jealousy. And where suppose you think that there is a third person who is very lewd and lustful. He has a different desire when he sees this woman. Right? So he has that desire, we call it as a generated from tamoguna, moha. So a single woman in this creation can generate either effect of a sattva guna, it can effect if of a rajoguna, or it can create effect of a tamoguna. Clear? So one is getting just a happiness, other is getting a jealousy, and this person is getting a moha. He gets deluded towards her. He gets a particular desire, so towards her. So all the three people, there is one woman, but according to one's own karma and according to one's own bhavana, the same object becomes a traigunya vishayaha. It becomes an object of three gunas. Object is object, but because of my own karmas and my own bhavanas, whenever I come in contact with that object, a particular kind of a effect of the guna arises in my mind. But Swamiji, what is the sattva guna's effect, etc.? That has been told in the Gunati, the Vibhaga, in the 14th chapter. So we don't go into that right now. But definitely, whenever sattva guna is there, the mind will be happy, mind will have satisfaction. The other person, whenever the rajoguna's effect will be there, well, there will be a jealousy and other things. And whenever tamoguna is there, you get deluded and you look upon something, it's a delusion, it's somebody else's wife, but this person has a different desire. So anyway, what I am saying is, so Jiva's own karma, this creation is out of Jiva's karma and bhavanas. But definitely, even though the object is created, but according to his own karma, from samashti karma it is made. But from the Vyashti karmas, basically, the one object creates a particular effect of a guna. So Bhagavan says here, Traigunya Vishayaha. The entire creation is basically made up of these three gunas. And every object, that's how we have seen a same object will become a cause of a happiness. For the same object can become a cause of unhappiness also. So definitely that you can understand very well. The object doesn't have that kind of it doesn't possess either happiness or unhappiness, but even the two people are there looking at one object or coming in the contact with one object have a different kind of a effect. So one person it will be sukham, in another person it will be a dukkham. Then what is responsible? One's own karma. And definitely dukkham etc. arises. You will not say it is an effect of a sattva guna. Definitely not. Right? And therefore other people will be totally neutral towards that. We'll talk about it a little later. So one object can create an effect of a sattva guna. Even coming to the ashram, frankly speaking, when somebody comes to the ashram, he says, Swamiji, it is very quiet. I really feel like meditating here. And there are other people who come here, and well, I should not say, but they say, well, what is the lunch time here? They are not interested in any other thing, really. And they just come at the lunch time, or even they come early, their mind is not settled. They will settle only when they reach to the dining room. So, this is how the thing is. One ashram, just as an example, nobody should take it, because I can talk to you, you people are devotees. But this is how it is. What I want to give is some live example I want to give. That's a purpose. So, single place can create different types of desire. There may be another person who may be a very lustful. He may get some other kind of idea. We don't know. He may get that other kind of idea. So this is how a single object can create either a sattva guna in you or effect of a sattva guna, can create an effect of a tamo guna or can create an effect of a rajo guna. Means this object, I will call it as a Traigunya. This object is a Traigunya. And there are several objects, such objects have been talked about in the Vedas. Objects are objects, but as per the karma and one's own vasanas or bhavanas, definitely one will gain either of the effect. That's how what the Vedas talk about. Veda talks about all the ends belong to this creation. They are objects, even though they are made up of a tamas aspect of the Maya. And it may be this creation, this loka, or it may be a deva loka, any loka. Well, but ultimately the jiva's contribution being there, this creation has been made from the earning of the jivas. As per jiva's own karma and vasana, he is going to experience a effect of either of these gunas. And that's how Bhagavan says, Traigunya Vishayaha. So Veda, all the Vedas have a Vishaya, which are nothing but the objects of the creation, and Bhagavan calls it as a Traigunya because it can generate an effect of either of the gunas as per his karmas and bhavanas. So this is how this creation, which is Trigunatmika, we created. This is how we have to say here. Then why in morning you are telling that Paramatma creates this creation? You are telling Ishvara is the cause of the creation. You only told in the morning. And now you say, no, Jiva is making the creation. So we say, it is like, one judge who is giving let's say, a punishment, capital punishment. A judge who gives a capital punishment to a particular criminal, who is giving, then they write even in the newspaper, or it comes in the news, that judge gave him a punishment, capital punishment. But frankly speaking, judge is not the cause of the capital punishment. These criminals own that crime, particular crime, very heinous crime, is the cause of this capital punishment. This judge is basically just a nimitta for this giving the punishment. So this is like that. So Ishvara is just a nimittam for giving you the karma phala. Well, definitely Jiva himself is responsible. Jiva's karmas and his bhavana, upasana is responsible for getting a particular kind of a karma phala. So this is how we have to say Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha. So Traigunya means this Trigunatmaka Samsaraha is a Vishaya. So that is the Vishaya. So like some person is sitting with a book of the mathematics. Well, we will ask what is the subject matter of this book. So he will say mathematics. Same way, here also this all the objects is the subject matter of the karma kanda. Basically, varieties of the objects is the subject matter of the entire karma kanda, and those objects are nothing but Traigunya. Clear? So Traigunyaha Vishayaha Yasya Vedasya Yasya or Esha, because we have to take plural, because all the Vedas we have to take. So Traigunyaha Vishayaha Yesham Te Traigunya Vishayaha Vedaha. That's how we have to take. And now in that you say it's a subject matter is like this. So in which form the subject matter is discussed in the Veda? Well, varieties of the means and ends. Now in that, known means known end. It is not a subject matter of the Veda. Known means known end. Like you are hungry, right? And what is the means to satisfy your hunger? Food. How do you know? Oh, Rigveda talks about it. You cannot say like that. Therefore, basically, or you have a thirst. Then as through Yajurveda I came to know that basically you should take water whenever you are thirsty. So now I know that I should drink water. Not like that. So known means known end. Veda has nothing to do with that. It's out of the scope of the Veda. Known means known end. Second, known means unknown end. Well, Veda has to talk to you something. And known means unknown end. Well, Swarga is unknown, right? And known means, of course, Punya Karma, etc. Of course, that is the means that we can find out from the Veda. Then third is known end. Unknown means. Known and unknown means. Like one wants a child. It's true, very true. Because it doesn't go out of my mind. Several places in India, a particular mantra has really helped for a couple to get a child. Very recently, last year. So, getting a son, getting a child is an end. All the means are exhausted. So-called means in the world are exhausted. All medical means. Now, what are any means is there in the Veda? Yeah, it is there. Unknown, right? It is unknown. So, known and unknown means. You have to go to Veda. Unknown and known means. You have to go to Veda. Unknown means unknown end. You have to go to Veda. So, Veda gives you, subject matter of the Veda is to talk about means and end. Now, on the connection between means and end. But what is the example, Swamiji, of unknown means and unknown end? Well, the example is Swarga itself is unknown, and for that a particular yaga also helps. Jyotishtoma, etc. That also I don't know. I come to know through Veda. And that is how unknown means unknown end also will come to know through Veda. So this is the subject matter of the Veda. But anyway, the end, whatever has been given there, known or unknown, and all are nothing but objects of this creation, right? Either of the Swarga or either of this creation, of this Prithvi, etc., of this earth, Martyaloka. Definitely all are Traigunya Vishayaha. And well, So, but then Swamiji, then how, if it is so, why Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna that you can grow out of these three gunas? How can a person come out of these three gunas? How can a person comes out of the way, of this several means and several ends? The confusion regarding several means and several ends. How can a person grow out of it? Only possibility is one can become free from the desire of getting various ends. That's all. All the purusharthas should resolve into one purushartha. That is the only way. Like I will go back to the example now, which Vasaspati Mishra has given. That one woman is creating this effect of three gunas because of the kamanas of that people, the desire of this particular people. This, her husband had a desire even before marriage that I should get such and such a wife which is a good looking and good, having a good nature, etc. And he got it. That's how he is happy, because his desire got fulfilled. The second person is having a jealousy because he has a desire that he should have this kind of a wife and he could not fulfill it. So because of his own desire he is jealous. And the third person, who is lustful, definitely he has a desire. So you can understand that all the three people are getting effects of the guna because of his own kamana, because of his own desire. And therefore the person, so Bhashyakara here says that Nishkamo Bhava, Bhashyakara himself says, Nistray Gunyo Bhava means Nishkamo Bhava. That's all. If you become free from the very desire of these objects, several ends which Karma Kanda talks about, if you can become free, how can I become free? What kind of a talk you are giving? How can I become free from the desire of objects? It is not possible. Yeah, it is only possible through your discrimination. What is that discrimination? Purushartha Viveka. I have already talked to you. Purushartha Viveka, that there is really speaking, I want a freedom. Even though I feel insecure, but I am not secure. It's due to ignorance. I am basically feeling that I am limited, I am insignificant, and all is not well with me, but that is due to ignorance. Actually, I am full and complete, etc., etc. So all your purusharthas get resolved into moksha. Then your desire towards different objects, different ends which Veda talks about, you become free from them. And if you become free from the desire for the objects talked about as end in the Karma Kanda, then you definitely will not have any effect of any guna, right? Of course, it's a question of it's a jnanam further, but this is the only way. And that's how Bhashyakara translate this. Nistray Gunyo Bhava is equal to Nishkamo Bhava. Bhashyakara says this. Nishkamo Bhava. So this is how, all your kamana should, one person asked me, this is very interesting. He says, Swamiji, you talked about getting freedom from desires. But even the desire of a moksha is a desire. So ultimately that is also a desire. Then how can this? Correct. So you have a desire to know Brahman, or you have a desire for Atma. Because Atma is Sukha Swarupaha. Atma Kamaha. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says Atma Kamaha, Atma Kamaha, Akamaha, Nishkamaha. So you have a desire for Atma, we have a desire for Anatma, but ultimately we all are same. We are sailing in the same boat. Everyone has a Kama. This is like what, the one Vaidya, one doctor, after checking this patient, etc., and he told this person that you take this medicine for 3 days and don't eat anything. What he said? Don't eat anything. If you want a recovery faster, just 3 days, Langanam. They call Langanam. Langanam means observe fast. That's one of the way. Most of the many doctors now advise this kind of a thing, and they give an example of all animals and all. Whenever any animal is sick, The first thing is they give up food. They give up food. Anyway, whatever. But this doctor told to the patient that take this medicine and don't eat anything. Means what? He should not eat even this medicine also, right? He should. So, at least he should eat these medicines. He should take this medicine, but he should not eat any other thing. That is how it is. So, if you have a very kamana of a moksha, I means if you want to become free from the kamana of all, then you should have a kamana of a atma. Could you follow? And therefore, prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manorathan. That's how. Prajahati yada kaman. When you give up all the kamanas, then the sthita prajna also you have become because of the kamana, moksha kamana. Yeah, but the moksha kamana is a kamana which will make you free from all the kamanas forever. And therefore, but Swamiji, moksha kamana will remain. No, that also, once you gain moksha, that also gets dropped. You become totally free. That's how said prajahati yada kaman sarvan. Sarvan. All the kamanas resolve. And so, same way, like that doctor said, well, that other than these medicines, you should not eat any other thing. Same way, other than the Atma, well, you should not desire any other anatma padartha. That's how it wants to say. And therefore, this is how it is. Nishkamo bhava means, well, don't think that you will drop even the desire of a moksha or a desire of a Atma. And that is how it has been told here. If you have any other desire regarding anatma, all the objects or ends which have been talked about in the Veda, well, then you will be under the effect of any of the guna. So, Traigunyaha, Vishayaha, Vedaha, Nistraigunyo bhava, Nishkamo bhava, etc. etc. So, the one who is free from the other kamanas of these varieties of the end, well, he will not get this phalam, belong to three gunas. We'll say that further, because we have seen only one line and we'll have to see some more. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.